And even if I wasn't, it's okay, it's just yarn. I was thrown yarn at. I received something I didn't ask for, but he doesn't want to wear it because it's too cute. But why buy a laundry basket when I can make one? So it looks absolutely huge for now. I'm just so motivated by the fact that this is going well. Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to my YouTube channel where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. Today is the 5th of March 2026 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. And being the 5th of March means the month of February is now over, which means it is time for the monthly stash update video. And I'm so excited! I'm not excited because the month of February was particularly efficient in terms of stash busting, but just excited because I like doing those videos and I like numbers and stats. That's all. So I will take you today through the stats of yarn in and out, what is my current stash balance, and I will show you what I have knit throughout the month of February. And not what I have destashed because I haven't destashed anything. However, I will also show you what I have bought, the yarn I have acquired in the month. Not necessarily bought, but we'll get into that. And if you would like more context about how and why my stash is what it is today, or rather what it was when the year started, you can go and watch episode 0 of the series. I will put it up here and down below everywhere. And aside from that, I think that's it for the intro, so we can immediately start with the stats. So as I mentioned, unsurprisingly, February wasn't as efficient as February, which would have been difficult because January was epic in terms of stash busting. And yeah, February was more balanced, I would say. So I have my little nose here, that's why I'm looking down. So in January I had a net negative of 2.5 kilo, so minus 2.5 kilo to my total yarn stash, which skyrocketed me to almost half of my yearly goal, which is minus 5 and something kilos in my stash. But because last month went so well, it is why I am so chill about February, despite the numbers not being as good, because if I just look at the big picture and the overall balance, I'm still doing really good so far in 2026. So yeah, that's why I'm pretty chill still. But I'll not make you wait any longer, so let's go through the numbers for February. So when I started the month, I had 12,718 grams in stash, so 2.7 kilo. And at the end of the month, I had 12,848 grams, so 12.8 kilos in stash, which is a little bit more than what I had at the beginning of the month, which means the net total is plus 130 grams. So yes, my stash did go up in February. But again, it's fine, because I was so efficient in January that I can kind of afford being not as good in February. And it's totally okay. And even if I wasn't, it's okay, it's just yarn. However, while doing those numbers, I realized it's not super helpful because, yeah, 12,700 things, yeah, it's not really speaking to me. So I decided to do percentages to help myself get a better view of like the big pictures and how far I am to my yearly goal. So as a reminder, I want to get my stash under 10 kilo, which meant I had to have a net negative of 5,131 grams over the year of 2026. And I just need to do a percentage of how far I am into that goal to know, yeah, where I am regarding that. So at the end of January, I was 47% of the way in, which is almost half. But at the end of February, I was down to 44.5% of the way in. So I did get further away from my goal, but again, I'm still almost halfway there, and it's the beginning of March, so chill out. It's okay. I'm still very confident I can make it. So now let's have a little breakdown of the numbers. So the total net positive of 130 grams is divided by yarn in and yarn out. So for the yarn in, I had 1,043 grams, so a bit more than 1 kilo. And for the yarn out that I have knit up, I have 913 grams, so a bit more than 900 grams. And That does mean that I have had more yarn in than yarn out, which is why the net total is positive. Now let's first start talking about the yarn in, and then I will talk about the yarn out with the project I have completed. So I had 3 acquisitions this month, I would say. Kind of, not really. It's a bit weird. So the first one is the true real acquisition, and I bought a sweater quantity of this beautiful yarn. It's the Solace base by Woolen Twine Fiber Studio. I can show you the beautiful tag here. I have 6 skeins, and this is Rambouillet and BFL blend. It's very soft, it's very lofty, it's very beautiful, and it's beige. And I'm gonna make a sweater, and I really wanted this sweater to be easy to wear, easy to pair with any of my other colorful items, which is why I wanted a boring color, which is not usually my type of thing, but yeah, I figured it would be so much easier to wear like this. So I bought a sweater quantity of this, which means 6 skeins, and the skeins were a little bit more than 100 grams, so I've forgotten to write the total, but it will be up here. So I have a little bit more than 600 grams of yarn in for this, but I will cast this on either at the end of March or end of April, so this will be out pretty soon. The next one is completely unexpected, and is mainly why the total of February wasn't that good, is because I was thrown yarn at. I received something I didn't ask for, and I'm very grateful, don't take me wrong, but it was extremely unplanned. So the yarn I received is those beautiful 100% alpaca yarns. And they are from a friend's family who own some alpacas, and they just spin some yarn with their fibers, and they gave me some, which is so sweet. And it's the second time I receive yarn from them. And the first time around I made a cowl, and then I did some coasters with the leftovers, and I showed them to my friend, and he was so happy to see someone do something with the yarn. So he's a climbing friend, and the other day we were climbing together, absolutely not talking about yarn or anything, and suddenly, out of nowhere, he was like, "Hey, would you like more yarn?" And I was like, yeah, why not? And then he sent me a picture with the different colors they had available, and he asked me to choose. So I said, oh, I would like the white and the caramel. And then he gave me, a few days later, he gave me a bag with all of this, and I was like, wow. I really wasn't expecting to get this much. I thought I would get like this, but he added a bit more. So the white one is like worsted weight. I think it's llama, if I'm not mistaken, and it's a bit less soft than the rest. I can definitely feel the guard hair, and I would say it's worsted weight. Did I already say that? Maybe. And I have no idea how much length I have. I would have to wind them on my Niddy Noddy, but also I don't think I really care. I'm just gonna guesstimate what I can do with this. And the brown one, so this one I wasn't expecting at all. I would say it's DK weight. It's really beautifully spun. It's a 2-ply, I would say. It's gorgeous. I think I have something like 100 grams or something. And it's not the same weight as this. It's going to be a challenge. I really want to use them together, but it's going to be a challenge. And the last one, this one I think is fingering weight. I think I have like 50 grams or something. It's so cute. It's such a beautiful natural color. Really love it. But yeah, I have an idea in mind of what I'm going to do with them, but it's not going to come until the end of the year. So yeah, it's not for right now, but it's very precious, very special, very unique, and I'm very grateful I have this, but it wasn't expected. So I will put the total up here because I don't know it by heart. And the last acquisition is not really an acquisition. If you followed the episode 0 of the series, I explained that I like to give a second life to my knits if I don't use them, which means I pretty often unravel stuff and knit them again to do something else. But then, in terms of stash posting goals, it's not helping because then I'm adding yarn into my stash that I haven't even bought. Mentally, it's not great, and it's not encouraging me to unravel stuff because then it just makes the stash go up. So what I did at the beginning of the year is that I took everything I was sure I was going to unravel sooner or later, sooner rather than later, and I counted them in stash already. So that made my stash go up a ton at the beginning of the year. But now when I unravel stuff, it makes the stash go down immediately instead of not doing anything to the total. So I did that for 2 hats, my first ever knitting projects that are 2 colorwork hats, and I never wore them because they were too big, so I unraveled them to do something else with them. But I had forgotten that I had crochet a headband with the leftovers, and I had forgotten to count that in the total. And it's a heavy headband because it's using a super thick yarn. So the acquisition is 73 grams of this headband that I had to unravel, and it went into the stash because I had forgotten to count it at the beginning of the year. So it's not really an acquisition, but still, it's added in. So that's it for the yarn in. So yeah, it's mostly a sweater quantity, a gift, and some unraveled yarn. So I would say a little bit of everything. Now, for the yarn out, it's only thing I have knit up because I haven't distashed anything, because I have kind of distashed everything I could distash during January, but it's okay, because I'm still very happy about what I have knit this month. So let's get to the projects. The first one I finished, it's this cute hat that I knit for Mr. Tinks. It's a top-down hat in a sport weight yarn. Very cute. I like it a lot, but it's not for me. And the yarn is itchy for me anyway. The yarn is Journey Sport by Julie Asselin. And they are sold in 50 gram skeins, at least I thought. Actually, they are 56 grams. And the skeins were more like 60, even more grams each. So I wanted to make this hat top down. It's self-drafted, by the way. I didn't use a pattern for this. I wanted to make it top down because I wasn't sure I would have enough yarn. But since I had a lot more yarn than I thought I would have by buying 2 50 gram skeins, I actually had a lot more. Like, I really had too much. I ended up, so I used 87 grams for this, and I had, I think, 33 grams left. So yeah, that was a lot of leftovers. So I have decided to knit up a headband with the leftovers, and I just finished it yesterday, but yesterday was March, so I couldn't count the headband in the February total. So this is 87 grams out of stash, and I have already given it to Mr. Tinks, but he doesn't want to wear it because it's too cute. I'm gonna convince him. Maybe after I do a photo shoot, but I'm gonna convince him. He needs to wear it. I put too much effort into this. The second object I finished, I'm gonna show at the end. I'm gonna show the last one first. So it's this weird thing, and yes, I know it doesn't look finished, but I will explain. So this is supposed to be a laundry basket. I mean, not yet, but it's gonna be. And the idea is that I wanted to use up the very heavy and thick non-superwash yarns I had in stash because I wanted to do a felted project. And I need a laundry basket for my knits. I actually really need it because for now I absolutely refuse to put my knitwear into my regular laundry basket because I'm sure I'm going to mess up and put something in the regular wash cycle and felt some very precious stuff. So for now, my knits, like my socks, my tops, are just thrown in every corner of the room until I wash them all, and it's just an absolute mess, and I really need something to put them in. But why buy a laundry basket when I can make one? So I am making one. So I had these 6 balls of drops snow, and I had the leftovers, no, not leftovers, I had those hats that I showed earlier that I wasn't wearing, which are the wool from We Are Knitters. I had 2 balls, 200 gram balls, because they are sold by 200 grams. But the wool is twice as thick as drops snow. So I had to hold drop snow double on 10 millimeter needles. I think it was 15. And it's a pretty thick fabric, actually, but that's what I want, because once it's felted, I want the fabric to be thick and like stand up on its own to be a cylinder, so I want a thick fabric. And I have used up everything. I have this much left from both colors. And as you can tell, this is absolutely not high enough. So yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere with this. And I don't have any yarn left. I mean, I have a little bit of drop snow, but I'm gonna do the top brim in this color to kind of recall the color of the bottom. So I'm keeping this for that, but I don't have any yarn left. And I want to finish this because I need the laundry basket. So I'm gonna do a reverse destashing, and I'm gonna call for you guys if you have some random spare balls, preferably full balls, full 200-gram balls of the wool by We Are Knitters, and preferably in earthy tones so that it kind of matches those two. So this one is forest and this one is ochre, so that I can do more stripes and have a higher laundry basket, because once this is felted, so it looks absolutely huge for now, but it's gonna felt about 40%, and 40% is a bit less than half. So if I hold it like this, the full circumference is kind of this big. So if I remove a little bit less than half, it's gonna felt to this size, so from here to here, which is a perfectly okay size for a laundry basket, especially for knitwear that are probably gonna be quite bulky and take up a lot of space in the basket. So it's actually not that big. And regarding the height, I think I would like to add, 3 full stripes, I think. Can you try to guess how much yarn in weight I use for one round? Try to guess. It's 20 grams per round. 20 grams of yarn per round. Each round is 180 stitches, and it takes me like a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. So that's a pretty intense grams per minute usage. So this is the ultimate stash buster. It went so fast. But yeah, I ran out, which is sad. So if you have something for me, of course I pay for the yarn and pay for the shipping, and I would appreciate if you're in Europe, because I don't really want to ship from the other side of the world just for a laundry basket. But I know the wool from We Are Knitters is pretty tricky to use because it's so thick, and since it's one ply, it peels a lot, so you don't necessarily want to make a garment out of that because it's just going to be destroyed in a few wears. And that's why I had it for so long in my stash in the form of the hats, because I knew I wanted to unravel the hats, but I didn't know what to do with the yarn because it's just so weird. So if you have something like that and you just want to destash it, I will take it. I will buy it. And I can show you also So the hats had 2 pom-poms at the top, and I cannot unravel the pom-poms, obviously. So I think I'm just going to throw them in the washing machine to do like dryer balls. So this is free yarn usage because the only thing I have to do to use them up is to throw them in the machine. So this is counted as yarn knitted up for the month. I'm cheating, I know, but I think it's going to be super cute dryer balls. I have never seen dryer balls made out of pom-poms like this, so maybe it's because you shouldn't, but I think it's going to be super cute. The last thing I finished this month, it's not dry yet. It's still blocking, and I don't want to mess up too much with it, so I'm just going to hold it like this to show you. And hopefully it doesn't slide off. Ta-da! It's a cute vest, and it's knit up. Can you see that? In bouclé yarn. And this is 100% silk, so it's not just merino bouclé or plastic bouclé, it's 100% silk bouclé. Beautiful. Very excited to see the result when it's dried and on me. I can show you a picture of me wearing it before blocking, so you can get an idea of the fit. It's a design of mine, the test call is coming soon. I have to knit up a second sample because you cannot see any of the beautiful details in this yarn. Of course, it's bouclé, so I'm going to make another sample with a regular summer yarn. It's coming, but in the month of March. And regarding the yarn usage, so I had 150 grams, and I have this much left. And this is 6 or 7 grams. And you cannot really see it, but it's actually a swatch, a rectangular swatch. But I started unraveling the top, and then I had to unravel something in the actual garment, so it went back into the swatch, but I wasn't gonna re-knit the swatch, so I just folded the swatch in a little bit and then I wound the yarn around it. So this is technically a swatch. Doesn't really look like it, but yeah, it's fabric folded. I'm not gonna do anything with this. It's such a specific yarn, bouclé 100% silk. So I don't think I'm gonna count this back into stash. I'm gonna just take it out and put it in my I have a little jar where I put my really small and tiny random leftovers, and I'm gonna do like, I don't know, texture embroidery or stuff like that with this, because I'm not gonna knit it into anything. I cannot do anything. It's just so specific. So out of stash, which means I have used the whole 150 grams I had originally. So that's counted in the total. Which brings me to the monthly total of, I have already forgotten, 900 and something grams out. And the only thing that was not counted in total is the projects I haven't finished in the month of February, because I only count the projects that are absolutely completed in the month, so that I can weigh how much I have left and know exactly how much yarn is out of my stash. But an ongoing project I have is my switcher blanket, and it's a little bit complicated to count the yarn total for that. So I'm gonna do seasonally update on that one, which means at the end of March, I'm gonna do an update. And I'm very excited about it because I have knit a lot on that blanket. And I have almost double the size. So that's gonna be a big chunk of yarn out. And I have knit technically a lot of that in February, but unfortunately it's not counted in the total because I'm too lazy to do all the weighing out and the things to measure how much I have used. So that's all for the month of February. No, I have also knitted up a ton of swatches because I have ideas bubbling up in my mind and I wanted to just see if they could work out. And I have a lot of those, but I don't count swatches because I'm mostly unraveling them or just doing something else. But out of curiosity, I have weighed out all the swatches I have done, and it's 45 grams. Just a fun fact. I'm not counting in the total, they're gonna be unraveled, but yeah, yeah. And this time, that's it for the month of February. I haven't forgotten anything. So I hope this was interesting and that you had fun following with me what happened this month. I'm super excited for the month to come. I'm just so motivated by the fact that this is going well, and it's feeling encouraging because I'm pretty sure I can make it. So yeah, having faith in myself helps, I guess. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you again for next month's update, and I hope to see you again next week for a podcast episode. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that or on any future content from me. Thank you for your comments, as always. Thank you for likes. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being here. Happy knitting. I love you. Bye.